HR Basics is a series of short courses designed to highlight what you need to know about a particular human resource management topic. In today's HR Basics, we explore strengths-based organizations, looking at what leaders, managers, and coaches do through the employee life cycle to create great outcomes for people and organizations. Strengths-based organizations, also known as SBOs, systematically select employees based on talent, positioning them to use their strengths every day and integrating strengths into key processes and systems organization-wide. Throughout the world, people spend more time working than in nearly any other pursuit. Yet, in a recent survey, they rank primary paid work as one of their least favorite or enjoyable activities. Further, individuals say spending time with their supervisor is, on average, the worst part of their day. It doesn't have to be that way. Through extensive research and studies of clients' experiences, Gallup has found that employees who have the opportunity to do what they do best at work every day experience a wide range of positive outcomes. This yields a multitude of benefits for the organization, including increased engagement and retention among customers and employees, reduced costs per hire, and greater earnings per share or growth rate. A strengths-based approach aligns an organization's practices and anchors them in a common philosophy rooted in decades of research on human nature, organizational behavior, and behavioral economics. Thus, an SBO surpasses a focus on self-awareness and strength-based development, which are key components, to affect key organizational levers such as structure, processes, employment brand, leadership practice, culture, and performance. Organizations should develop strength-based practices that span the employee lifecycle and guide the attraction, engagement, and retention of talent at all levels. Attract is about communicating our culture to recruit top talent. Select is where we hire the right person for the job. Onboard is where we integrate people into their work and the organization. Maximizing performance is about helping people realize excellence. Development makes people better. And finally, engage, connecting people to work and the organization. That's the 6-step employee life cycle. This model outlines the core components an organization must put in place to transform itself into a true strengths-based organization, primarily focusing on the requirements of creating strengths-based people strategies. Core to the employee life cycle are those who implement the activities and interventions that define it. So, let's define the core contributors to the employee experience and the strength-based organization. A manager organizes things, a leader influences people, and a coach understands and motivates individuals. Let's pause here to define management and leadership. Management is transactional. It's about planning, coordinating, and organizing to get results. Leadership, on the other hand, is transformational. Simply put, leadership is influence. Leaders inspire and motivate to get the best results. The first step in the employee life cycle is attract, communicating our culture to recruit top talent. Attracting and retaining the right employees has an enormous impact on the organization's performance. The process begins before an employee is hired. Job applicants and employees alike want to know the unique benefits of committing to an organization. Your employment brand or value proposition must connect rationally and emotionally with candidates and current employees. Aspiring SBOs should execute the following interventions to attract employees who are the best fit for their workplace. Strengths-based organizations communicate the vision and mission that supports the organization's strength-based organization and brand commitment. Build a strength-based, anchored employee value proposition and employment brand. Champion strength-based career management practices. Create an engaging candidate and employee experience that supports a culture of employment brand ambassadors. Develop an ongoing measurement system that assesses and manages the employment brand and its strengths focus. The second step in the employee life cycle is select, hiring the right person for the job. Strengths-based selection considers candidates' innate talents, acquired skills, gained experience, and learned knowledge. If instituted correctly, a strengths-based selection system will have a huge effect on organizational performance while driving and supporting greater diversity and inclusion within the employee population. The interventions that follow will help organizations build a strengths-based workplace by using selection procedures that put a spotlight on talent. Strengths-based organizations select new leaders for talent using validated assessment processes. Top-level leaders define the roles and structure needed to support future organizational needs. Strengths-based organizations understand the concept of talent-based selection and how to conduct a strengths-based interview and apply these concepts to all selection decisions. They support and monitor strengths-based selection processes. Step 3 of the employee lifecycle is onboard, integrating people into their work and the organization. The new hire integration process enables new employees to achieve peak productivity faster by aligning their strengths with the requirements of their roles and the organization's culture and the team's operating climate. Onboarding processes should include formal and informal learning about roles and the organization. Aspiring strength-based organizations can accelerate the growth and maximize the contributions of new hires by performing the following interventions. Strengths-based organizations gain individual feedback on self and role through strengths discovery within the direct manager, including the Clifton Strength Finder assessment for all managers and through e-learning. They set clear expectations for new hires through the use of outcome-based job descriptions and strength-based dialogue. They create and enforce an accountability system to ensure that onboarding takes place, and they support formal and informal onboarding initiatives and offer recommendations for improvement as appropriate. Step 4 of the employee lifecycle is maximize performance, helping people to realize excellence. For SBO concepts to take hold and endure, organizational practices supporting performance management and individual development planning must be consistent with a strengths-based approach. The following interventions will help prospective strength-based organizations align strengths-based processes and best practices across all levels of the organization. Strengths-based organizations define clear enterprise-level focus areas and goals for strengths-based management, derived from the strengths vision and cultural parameters the organization outlined as a strengths-based organization. They define clear performance metrics based on business strategy and operating plans. They capture development and growth needs and record them in a strengths-based development plan. They set up and manage the strengths-based performance management process with well-designed online formats, templates, and so on. Step 5 of the employee lifecycle is develop, making people better. A strengths-based development approach is about identifying the ways in which employees must mutually think, feel, and behave, and building on those talents to create strengths, the ability to consistently provide near-perfect performance in a specific task. A strengths-based approach combines the requirements of the job and the performance capabilities or competencies demanded by the organization with individual strengths to optimize performance. It doesn't forgive poor performance. Rather, this approach sets individuals up for success within their roles. Aspiring strengths-based organizations can execute the interventions that follow to ensure employees continue to grow and develop in their roles. Strengths-based organizations support the integration of strengths-based approaches into leadership development initiatives and learning programs. They formally mentor emerging leaders using a strengths-based approach. They conduct one-on-one strengths-based performance coaching. They integrate strengths-based management techniques into management development programs and lead team performance and development sessions using strengths. Step 6 of the employee lifecycle is engage, connecting people to work and the organization. Creating an engaging work environment is not only the right thing to do for employees, but it also makes sound business sense. Results from one Gallup client committed to building a strengths-based organization indicate that when employees have the opportunity to complete the Clifton Strengths Assessment, it more than triples the chances they'll remain with the organization. Patterns are also emerging between strengths and customer ratings. A workplace culture significantly influences efforts to create an environment that promotes effective strengths-based development. Teams that encourage and support these efforts have reaped substantially greater rewards than comparable teams that forego efforts to explore and leverage individual strengths. For employees to best capitalize on their strengths, they need continual social support, experiences of success, and reinforcement of personal strengths. An engaged team with good mechanisms for living up to these three requirements can build a robust positive feedback loop for progress. Gallup measures the extent to which this is happening at several organizations by asking respondents to rate their level of agreement with 4 items. First, every week I set goals and expectations based on my strengths. Second, I can name the strengths of 5 people I work with. Third, in the last 3 months, my supervisor and I have had meaningful discussion about my strengths. And fourth, my organization is committed to building the strengths of each associate. Strengths-based organizations develop and execute an enterprise-level engagement and talent retention strategy. They weave the strengths-based leadership and management approaches and cultural drivers as key components. They role model engagement behaviors through leadership team engagement interventions and demonstrate usage of individual and collective strengths to drive organizational performance. Finally, they build a strengths-based, engaging culture focused on performance and talent retention. The foundation of a strengths-based organization lies in the integration of the strengths with the key systems of processes that manage people. This is accomplished through a comprehensive study and assessment of the current business rhythm and related systems and processes. It's critical for HR to build and support a system that provides the documentation for these reviews and discussions. Leadership and managerial accountability is essential to ensuring the initiative's success, as is capturing data that can help the organization measure the effectiveness of its SBO programs and interventions.